If you're in your 30s, 40s, and especially your 50s, and you think it's too late to change careers and you just need to ride it out to retirement, I'm here to tell you that you're mistaken. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I am transforming my career at the age of 48. I'll share the 3 most common myths about why you think you can't change careers, and I'll break down the steps to help you transition into a career and life that you love.
Something very exciting arrived in the mail that I can't wait to show you.
Yay! And stick around to the end because, no joke, this video could just change the trajectory of your life. Hi, I'm Maggie. Let's dive in. I was raised with very different career expectations. Both my parents stayed in the same professions their entire work life. My dad was a pharmacist and retired at 79. Kudos to him. And my mum was a teacher her entire career. This was completely normal for their generation. You picked a lane and you stayed in it till retirement. But these days, staying in one career for over 40 years like our parents is over. Today, the average person will have between 5 and 7 careers in their lifetime. Not jobs, entire careers. The truth is that we often overestimate the risk of change and underestimate the cost of staying where we are. So I have totally been there. For years and years, I have yearned for a career change, but didn't think that it was possible for me. For over 22 years, I've worked as a podiatrist, 20 of those years in my own practice, my own business. And if you've been following along, you'll also know that I'm an actress. And like many actors, I was deluded into thinking that I would be one of the 0.0000001% of all actors that make a living from their craft. So don't get me wrong, I have enjoyed podiatry. It is a great profession and it's wonderful to know that you're helping people. But I have found over the years it has begun to feel a bit monotonous. And I am sure that many of you out there in your professions, even though you started off loving it, might find that over time, when you've been doing something for a really long time and you get very skilled at it, you begin to lack stimulation. So what really kept me going in my job was that every other waking moment I was pursuing acting and I was so creatively fulfilled from that. But I really did begin to get exhausted and really yearn for a career change. So I felt really stuck, and yes, I was complaining about my job, probably a little bit too much. And then 2 years ago, everything changed. I had a business mentor and she really encouraged me to enroll in this diploma of coaching, mentoring and facilitation. At the time, I had 4 staff and I was really struggling with the management side of things. Leadership and management at that time didn't come naturally to me and I really felt like I needed some training. So I thought, well, this coaching thing could be a good idea. It could help me be a better boss. So that was my original intention for going into the course. Also, a friend of mine had done this coaching course and she absolutely raved about it and her enthusiasm was infectious. So between my business mentor and my friend recommending this course, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I enrolled in the course and I had no idea that this decision was absolutely going to change the trajectory of my life. Essentially, this decision led me from here to here. This is the first time I've showed off my plaque. Very excited, my 100,000 subscriber plaque. Thank you, YouTube, and thank you everyone for watching. So there was a lot that happened between my decision to start coaching and me being here with my plaque. So I'm going to talk about how I have transitioned from podiatrist to life coach and YouTuber. So this diploma of coaching, mentoring, facilitation awakened something in me. And I'm going to talk about where I studied a little bit because it's so wonderful. And actually in anticipation of this video, I reached out to them and said, look, I'm going to do a video on how I've been changing my career midlife. And I'm going to talk about you. Is it okay? You know, do you have some kind of discount for my audience? And they said yes, very generously. They've offered 10% off anyone who would like to enroll in the course. I'm not getting any kickback from this. This is just because I absolutely believe wholeheartedly, hand on my heart, I believe in this school so much. It's called the Global Coaching Academy, or the GCA. They're located in Perth, Western Australia, but they're actually a fully online course that you can potentially study anywhere in the world.
The GCA are a level 2 accredited course with the ICF, which is the International Coaching Federation. And let me say, this is a really big deal because the coaching industry is unregulated, so literally anyone can call themselves a coach. But this course is really rigorous training. They also teach you how to create and facilitate training programs, presentations, and workshops. There are 2 intakes every year, and the next intake is in a couple of months in July 2025.
The teachers and facilitators at this school are so incredible. The whole program is heart-centered, heart-led, and the teachers really walk the walk in a way that is unlike anywhere I've ever studied before. They're extremely kind, very accepting, non-judgmental, and they hold this incredible space. And that in turn has taught me how to hold an unconditionally loving space for my clients. This coaching course isn't just for people who want to be coaches. It's literally for any profession that want to level up. And it also would make you a better parent, a better friend, a better daughter, a better everything. When you can hold space for someone and actively listen, that is so precious. So, when you have something beautiful and fragile and special you want to share with someone, or you have a problem that you want to share with someone, the friend that you go to, the one that listens really well and they're not going to keep interrupting you and giving you their opinion. That's what this course trains you to do, to hold this amazing space. So it's one of these incredible life skills that will enhance your profession, help you be a better manager, a better leader, a better doctor, nurse, mother, all of it. Highly recommend it. My sister's actually doing the course right now, so she got the bug from me. I was so enthusiastic about it that she ended up enrolling a couple of years after me, and she's nearly finished it and she's loving it, and she's also completely changed the trajectory of her career. So if you are interested, go to globalcoach.com.au, or you can email them at admin@globalcoach.com.au. I'll put this all in the description. Email them with the code MaggieLovesLife and you'll get 10% off the course. If you had have told me that I would go from podiatrist to life coach and then start a YouTube channel, and within 5 months of starting my channel, I end up with my silver play button, And this is the exciting thing about embarking on the journey of change. So let's dive in to the 3 myths that are probably keeping you stuck. Myth number 1 is the epiphany moment. Many people believe that there's a magical moment when the skies part, angels appear, and you suddenly realize what you should be doing with your life. They think they just have to discover what it is and have the courage to follow it. The truth is that while some people do experience a light bulb moment, many people don't. It's actually a very limiting myth, because most people aren't born with pre-existing passions just waiting to be discovered. Instead, they develop or cultivate passions over time, simply by starting what they find interesting. There isn't just one thing that you're meant to do with your life. Most people find multiple things in their lifetime. Myth number 2 is that you need to have it all figured out first. This is a myth that keeps most people paralyzed. People think they need to start with deep introspection, get crystal clear on their passions, skills, and strengths, make a list of matching industries, pick the perfect one, then and only then take action. So I have to say I am a big believer in self-introspection and self-reflection. I think Socrates' quote of "know thyself" is one of the most important quotes in history. Understanding who you are and what matters to you and what your values are is really valuable. But the problem is we can take it too far and it can become kind of a analysis paralysis. People get stuck in that endless analysis waiting for the perfect clarity that just doesn't come. Research by Professor Herminia Ilbara from London Business School shows that successful midlife career changers took a very different approach. They didn't start with extensive self-reflection or try to have it all figured out before they even began. They simply moved in the direction that interested them and took it one step at a time through trial and error. The most effective approach combines reflection and action. You learn about yourself from trying new things, not just from thinking about them. Trust me, the biggest mistake you can make is delaying that first step until you have it all figured out. It's okay to just know that you'd like to change and start trying things out. Start following your excitement. I'm a great example of this. I did not have a lightning bolt realization that I needed to be on YouTube and do coaching. I just wanted to be a better boss. I just wanted to learn how to manage people better. And that very quickly evolved into a love of coaching, which evolved into me being here with you. And my plaque. Myth number 3 is that it just takes one big leap. Many people believe that career change involves one dramatic jump from where you are to your dream career. This myth creates enormous pressure and makes the change feel very risky. And honestly, that's one of the main things that kept me stuck. I'm very risk averse when it comes to finances. And apart from acting, there was nothing that I could see myself doing. So I was just in this perpetual mindset of complaining about my job and not being where I wanted to be, which is the victim mindset. The reality is that most successful career changes happen over multiple steps. I was talking to my massage therapist about this, and she actually said that she was going through a similar thing and she was finding massage quite monotonous. So what she did was she went from 5 days to 4 days in massage, And for her 5th day, she went and got a job in a cafe, which was a completely different vibe, different environment, new people, faster paced. And she loves that so much that now she's enjoying her massage again. And she's finding that balance really works for her. So that could be a potential thing that you can look at to start with. You can swap your current job with another job that's not your dream job yet, but a step in the right direction, or just a change. You can use the transitional role to give you security while you're figuring things out and gradually move closer to where you want to be. Or you can be like me, and I worked on my coaching business and my podcast and YouTube before work, after work, at lunch, because I love it. It is so easy to find those extra hours to work on things that you love. So what I did was I was working 11 days a fortnight in podiatry, and I cut that back to 9 days a fortnight. And then soon I'm going to be going down to 8-day fortnights. So this is a staged process. It doesn't have to be all at once. I am risk averse when it comes to finances, let me tell you. One of my friends in her 50s went through a very unexpected and messy divorce and found herself without work, without money, and really having to think about how she wanted to spend the rest of her life. And she went and studied Gestalt therapy, 4 years training, and she's just qualified, and she's now in her mid-50s, and she has a very, very exciting career ahead of her. She loves it so much. Her clients love her so much because she clearly is so passionate about what she does. So it's never too late to retrain. Another patient of mine, actually, he was a taxi driver, and then in his 50s, he went back to school, to university, and studied teaching, and he absolutely loves it. And he intends to work for another 10 years. So it really isn't too late. So they're the myths. Now, what is a more effective approach to career change? Start with curiosity, not certainty. Listen to the whispers. Pay attention to those quiet thoughts that emerge when you're imagining your future. If nothing changes, what's your life going to be like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years' time? For me, knowing exactly what the next 20 years of my life would look like if I stayed in podiatry, that was a catalyst for me making a change. Follow what genuinely interests you, even if it doesn't make sense or doesn't seem relevant or practical. If it interests you and there's a bit of excitement there, follow it. Even if you think, oh, I can't earn money from that, just follow the excitement. When we start, we're never going to know exactly where we're going to end up. There's going to be all these twists and turns. We just need to follow our highest excitement. My motto is the journey is the destination. It's who we become whilst on the journey, on the hero's quest. So it's so important to go through this process even when you don't know what's going to happen. Number 2 is play the what if game. And I know lots of you out there will be thinking, I've already played that game. I've tried to imagine what else I can do and I can't come up with anything. But the thing is, usually when you're doing that, you're coming from the limited lens, the limited beliefs that you have about what's possible. So you really have to get into a meditative space, ask for guidance. Don't censor yourself with practicalities and just explore, just see what happens. It's just a bit of fun. You can also put into AI all your skill sets and see what it comes up with what might be a good career for you. That's another option. But I actually think it's a fun idea to do this with a friend, have them play devil's advocate, and really encourage each other and hold space for each other to really think outside the box and make it really fun. If you had told me I'd be a YouTuber, I would have thought that was a ridiculous thing. So you never know. Forgive me, it's very new and shiny. Step number 3 is explore without quitting. And this is what I did. This is what my massage therapist did. Could you reduce the hours in your current position? Could you start a new job on the weekends? Could you train in something else on the weekends? Could you take a sabbatical to explore? Do you have long service leave coming up? This approach absolutely decreases the risk and takes off the pressure while you're just exploring and trying things on. Chances are you probably have rent to pay, a mortgage, children, car, lots of things to pay for. So we don't want to just completely make this dramatic shift. It's okay to strategize and take your time. Sometimes just knowing that you're actually making steps towards a change is enough to completely change your outlook. We learn by doing, not just thinking. So don't try to think your way through a career change. Get out there and try things on. So take small, consistent actions. And this is honestly where something like coaching is a wonderful, excellent example, because these are transferable skills that you can take with you to any organization. Number 5 is seek out a mentor. To connect with others who have gone through similar transitions is so valuable. Being able to talk to someone who's been through it is just so comforting. I had my business mentor that led me to the Global Coaching Academy, but you can also have mentors that you don't know personally So, for example, one of the books on the reading list at the GCA was Amy Porterfield's 2 Weeks Notice. And I just loved that book, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and I did one of her courses, and that's where I realized I really need a platform, and that's where I decided to do YouTube. I would never have gotten to YouTube without all the other steps. And I don't know Amy personally, but I considered her a mentor for a period of time. And now with the internet, anyone can be your mentor. You just have to study what they do, what they put out, what information they've released. Number 6, and this is potentially the most important, cultivate the right mindset. Mindset is everything. If you're going to be courageous and embark on the hero's journey, the hero's quest of changing careers, you have to have the right mindset, because chances are you will definitely be out of your comfort zone at some stage. And let's face it, all the magic happens when you're out of your comfort zone. You only feel like you're wasting time if you have a scarcity mindset, if you're thinking about time running out. But if you have a growth mindset, knowing that everything that you're learning along the way, the whole journey of who you're becoming is the journey, is the destination, you're already winning. So lastly, I want to talk about the benefit of a midlife career change. Chances are, if you've been doing your job for a few years or even a few decades, you're really good at it. But there is a thrill and excitement that comes with being a beginner. When was the last time you were a beginner at anything? Being a beginner gives you a youthful glow, a spark of vitality. I've always been a student of life and a lifelong learner, and I've done lots of courses, and all through like my drama school and other acting courses I've done and the coaching program, there's always been a wide range of ages of people. And I have loved that so much. It's wonderful being around a cross-section of society that you wouldn't normally have access to, and you can really forge some really beautiful friendships. The humility of being a beginner, the curiosity that gets ignited, the fresh connections that you make. All of these things not only rejuvenate your work life, your career, but they can change your whole outlook on life. I have no idea where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, but if I hadn't have made this change and I hadn't have gone into the Global Coaching Academy program, I definitely know where I would have been, but now I have no idea where I'm going to end up in 5 years' time, and that is so exciting to me. Sometimes new paths lead you to places you never expect. This is probably a good time to ask you to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your comments. There is so much waiting for you on the other side of this. People who make these changes often say, I wish I had done it sooner, rather than I wish I had have stayed where I was and be comfortable. Your most significant contributions, your greatest joy, your deepest fulfillment might still be ahead of you, not behind you. See you in the next video.